This is a certified hood classic.
Hi, how you doing? Where you from? What do you do for a living?
All rise, order in the court. We're going to the forest today, and I can't wait after observing them yesterday during court.
Well, here's the thing. We promise it, and we deliver. That's right, delivering the goods each and every time. Good to see everybody.
Here we are thinking that that was actually them yesterday because we're looking at the dock and all that, but it didn't even have anything to do with them.
Go figure, am I right? Oh, people
Crazy to see you flying today, huh?
So she's flying.
Yeah.
She's flying from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
To, I think, Texas?
Texarkana?
Going to see Crass?
Going to hang out with Crass. Try and find a job.
Good luck.
Right?
It's not going too good for others. So,
my God.
Hang in there, Crass.
Good to see everybody. I'm looking forward to this one. So,
if you weren't here yesterday, we enjoyed this canopy, I guess.
So they have this thing hanging up, which I guess is maybe one of those, like I've got a couple of Christmas ones that I think are for photographers, basically, like as a backdrop, but they have a backdrop of the forest, but they're in the forest.
Yeah, I don't get that. Unless behind them, maybe there's something unsightly that they don't want us to see.
Maybe, but I mean, I feel as if this is a wall of sorts. Like they live out. Are they people of the forest? Do you have any idea? Are we going to find that out?
I think we'll find out what type of lifestyle they're living. But I tell you what, I can smell those flowers from here.
Yes, on the wreath. Yes, beautiful flowers. Let's jump into it. And with district court judge. I don't even know his name.
I don't either, but he's growing on me as the guy that gets it done.
Boy, yeah, yesterday was boom, boom. I mean,
we'll need to hear. I'm going to call case 23-000228. Petitioner Crystal Piper and respondent Tina Turney.
Tina Turney?
Looks like you may both be present right now. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's got to be a fake name, right?
She's simply the best, better than all the rest.
Zoom. Miss Turney, if you could unmute yourself. Can you hear us okay?
Thank you, Pike. That's what we were talking about. That's why we're a little bit late. That's a good one.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Thank you both for your patience through a very long calendar this morning. I apologize for the delays. I do have a petition that was filed in this case. I don't see a proof of service. Ms. Piper, were you able to get?
What was the question, Your Honor?
Have you been able to legally serve these papers on the respondent in this manner?
Yes.
And did you file a proof of service with the court?
Is Tina
Yes,
near a busy highway?
Oh, apparently we've just received it. So thank you.
Here we are thinking that she's like out in the forest. Maybe she's just like right next to a bridge or something.
It's like the interstate is right behind her. You know, we can see trees. There's a few at least.
Yeah, I mean, I get tent vibes, but there's no top on it though.
Maybe they're that camp life. I know a lot of people are all about the camping life. Maybe that's what Tina is up to. Tina Turner. I mean, Turnin.
Tina Turn. Is it Turney or Turn in?
Turney. Turning around. Sorry if we were late. I was asking Creed for a loan. Very embarrassing. I didn't want to do it on the air.
I just think this crash is going to be so bad for me. This has been 2 weeks of just it's
the highs of highs and the lowest of lows, Daddy.
I'm telling you.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Turney, did you receive service then?
Yes, that's the delivery of the paperwork, correct?
Okay, and when were you served with that paperwork, Ms. Turney?
The second.
You broke up a little bit. Can you say that again?
Just a little bit.
Sure, August 2nd.
Okay, August 2nd. So do you feel you've had sufficient time to prepare for a hearing on this matter today?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Then what we're going to do then is proceed with the hearing. I'm going to find that there has been proof of service and there has been sufficient notice. I'm going to swear you both in, and we're going to hear about the allegations in this case. And then I'm going to hear from the respondent for any kind of explanations or defenses to the allegations in this case. You're both going to be talking directly to the court and testifying directly to the court. You're probably going to hear someone on the other side say something that you disagree with strongly. Just go ahead and restrain yourself from interrupting and bring that up when you have an opportunity to speak later. Try not to interrupt each other or argue over each other. I may interrupt you with questions. I apologize, but I'm just trying to keep things moving along and answer specific questions when I do that. So first thing is to swear you both in. If you could both raise your right hand for me. And Mr. Attorney, if you could, yep, thank you. So do you swear that the testimony you give here today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay, thank you. You've both been sworn in under oath. And so first I'd like to hear from the petitioner, Ms. Piper, if you could explain the reason for requesting a protection order for today.
Yes. The reason why I wanted to do the protection order, we've never had an issue with any neighbors of living here for 3 years. And ever since Tina moved in, things were okay and fine. There was no issues. I'm going to, for your time, I'm going to talk about the two main major concerns that is involved with my daughter, Emily. On 4/16/2023, my daughter was outside playing. At the time I was here at the house. My daughter was playing alone, and she wasn't with any other friends. Few minutes went by, she came home, and instantly on her face, she looked like something happened, like something really, really bothered her. And as a mother, you know with your child's face whether or not something is wrong. And I went to ask her, what's wrong? What happened? And she was holding her neck, and she said that Drake touched her on the neck by gripping on it on the back of the neck. And I was asking her, is this true? What happened? I need to know all the details. And she said that her neck was hurting her and that he snuck up on her thinking it was funny to grab her by the neck. And
Are we talking about the guy or her that allegedly did this?
She said Drake. I mean,
not superstar Drake, right? They're not neighbors.
Well, I mean,
Drake.
If I had to guess, it'd be the guy from that Drake and Josh show. He's definitely fallen on hard times.
Gary. I got a hallelujah somewhere. I'm really behind
Gary.
today. I'm so sorry, Gary.
Gary.
I failed you today, Gary.
Gary, where are you?
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary. Maybe Drake is a child.
You think those two who live in the woods?
I mean, Tina looks a little long in the tooth to have a child old enough to be out playing with Crystal Piper's kids. But maybe Tina looked upset when she heard it. She was like, oh shit.
She did. She was like covering herself and
she's like, oh hell, called a lawyer.
oh boy.
she said that she was trying to get away from him. She told him that it wasn't funny. And I guess he thought that they were just playing, but clearly my daughter told him that this is not a play, and she rushed home. And so I wanted to get their side of the story. I wanted to make sure that it was true. So I walked over to Tina, which is my neighbor next door. And well, I asked them, it was her and Drake, and I believe his name's Tim, that was right there by the door.
Timmy.
And in clear view, I saw all three of them, and I was like, so my daughter just told me that your son laid his hands on my daughter's neck. Is this true?
Ah, yes.
And they were confused, obviously, and they were looking at Drake, and he smiled and he verbally admitted that he did lay his hands on my daughter's neck, which is not okay. He's about twice the size and a couple years older than her, and she clearly did not think it was funny. And I told him that all I requested is for their son to stay away from my daughter, and they thought that they were just playing, that they were just kids, that they didn't take the situation lightly. And I told them that their son needed to stay away from my daughter, and I stressed to my daughter that you need to stay away from them. All I asked was for both sides to just be in peace, stay away. If there's no excuse to lay on anyone's hands.
Yeah, like basically, oh boy, what a great time to stop that. Wrangling your child. Miss Carrie, thank you, 5 bones. You can never say it enough.
Oh, keep saying it. Me and Tina are loving it.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, baby.
All right. So Drake's maybe a little bit of a bully. He's a little bit
He's an older kid,
bigger than her.
twice her size. If she's like her mom, she's tiny, little thing.
What do you do? Grabbing by the end? What do you pick up the kid or something? Run around with it
By the back of the neck. I mean, that's
I
I think when we were kids and we do that, be like, mule's biting the corn. Mule's biting the corn.
And Tina got really upset that I confronted, and she started yelling and cussing, and she slammed the door in my face. And I told her that I wanted to be clear that this is a serious issue. And she opened up the door to throw a hard camera at me, and I dodged it with my hand, and it hurt my hand. I ended up removing my situation, called 911.
Is that the best thing you could find? Is a hard camera to throw at somebody at the door?
A hard camera before she threw down the flap. So get away from here. So go and get.
Go get.
And I said, get away from here.
And the sheriff's department, and they told me that they were handling another situation, that it was going to be a while for them to come
Got one cop.
here. So it was about, I would have to say, 4 to 5 hours. It was a really long time by the time they finally got here.
It's a forestry service.
Oh my God. We got to get a plane to take us to where you are. I mean, 4 to 5 hours. We're busy with something else, bud.
Sorry, we're out here wrangling some cows up that got out.
Got time for that? We'll get there.
They got my side of the story. They got Tina's side of the story. And that was the major concern, was that part. And everything, I thought everything was fine up until the most recent of 7/26/2023.
Uh-oh.
My daughter was again outside by the lake playing, and we have a lot of wild ducks, and there are maybe two ducks that
those of you who were not with us yesterday,
We saw one of them.
the people of the forest here, onto this, all that we could see is this pillow that had mold and disgustingness all over it, and what appered to be was it purple, or it was
Possibly
a
a mallard. I'm not
decoy.
really sure what it was.
It was a decoy dog.
We got a lot of wild ducks here. All right, so they live near a lake. I mean, that's
Maybe.
pretty classy.
That's all right, Claude. That's a good point. You got to have a hard camera to really make it.
When was the last time you had a soft camera, Creed?
Long time ago. As a matter of fact, I just sold a few of the the old disposable cameras are still worth a ton. The Fuji's,
Nice.
Fujifilm ones. Remember that back in the day? I had to go
Retro.
buy a damn camera just to take it in. And
Nancy.
that are the neighbor's pets. However, she doesn't bother them because she knows that those are their pets, but there's tons of other wild ducks. And she loves animals. She would never hurt any animal. She wanted to go and pet a duck. And as I was watching her, and I was like telling her, okay, I need to go up to do dishes. As I was walking up to my RV, I saw Tina walking the opposite direction towards the lake. I didn't think nothing of it. I was just like, maybe she's checking the mail. She's just doing her own thing. And then about 35-ish minutes later, my daughter was shaking like this. I'm not exaggerating, Your Honor. She was shaking. She looked extremely fearful, crying. She was having a hard time saying what was happening. She told me that Tina was yelling, cussing, telling her how expensive all these ducks are. These are all my ducks. And my question is, Your Honor, with an adult yelling and screaming at a child for just being like, why would you? I'm just confused why you're targeting my daughter, why you think that was okay to just yell at her like that instead of like why like
Tina's over there laughing and smiling. Did you notice?
Quiet down, Bam Margera. Let your lady talk. Okay, so wild ducks. We've got a lot of wild ducks around here, Creed. Not like those tame ducks you may be used to. These well-trained housebroken ducks. These ones is wild. I mean, really.
I don't know how you expect to pet one though.
I tried to pet one time as a kid. Nearly bit my finger off. It was at a cemetery, by the way.
Walking, say, hey, these ducks are really important to me. You know, please don't do that. Like in a more civil conversation instead of yelling and stuff. So there are several witnesses of neighbors that have heard and saw the incident happen, but they wish to remain anonymous, Your Honor. And I've never like approached them. Like I've never approached.
Mrs. Piper, let me interrupt you there. Sorry. Do you know what she yelled to your child?
Oh,
Emily? Your daughter's name's Emily, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know what she yelled at Emily?
She yelled at Emily to tell her to stay away from her ducks. But there was, when I was down there, Your Honor, there was like 20, 30 plus wild ducks. There's no tags, there's no collars, there's no indication that they're their ducks.
I understand. And can you tell me again, which date was the incident where she threw the camera at you and you had to block it with your hand? When was that?
4/16/2023.
Okay, thank you. All right, so you're alleging that on April 16th, there was an incident that ended with her throwing a camera at you and you had to block it. And you're alleging that on July 26, 2023, your child was out running around with the ducks, most of which are wild, and that your neighbor yelled at your daughter, frightened her very much, yelled at her to stay away from the ducks. So I understand those two incidents. Are there any other incidents that you wanted to
there were
note
minor
for the court today?
incidents. Yes, Your Honor. There were minor incidents, which this is kind of leads up to me quite like wondering of the other incidents were when they moved here. They were complaining about their small space, and that's just how it is. We're living in an RV in a space, you know, it is given. They started putting their stuff in our yard, and I've asked them kindly to please move them back, and they kept not listening to that. And I've let my landlord knows. They were also building a fence blocking my water supply and the power strip, and they were not supposed to do that. And I let the landlord know, and they had to like rearrange their fence. There were several incidents where they would park their car behind my car, so I wouldn't be able to get out if I needed to go anywhere. I have never parked behind their cars. And with that disrespect, they have done, those are minor things. They have had other incidents and with other neighbors, but that is nothing. But they have caused a lot more trouble. And
Okay,
so
I understand your allegations. Can you tell me how the behavior of your neighbor has made you feel?
very stressed out emotionally. She's obviously thinks this is funny. I don't. I just wanted, all I
there we go.
want with this is to be left alone, my family left alone. Do not yell at my daughter. Just don't do anything to us. Like, and it's just, we've been done the same thing. We have tried to just ignore countless of things that she has screamed and yelled about and has done things. We've talked to the landlord multiple times, and as you saw with evidence, filed formal complaints. And it's obviously with the most recent date compared to the last incident, obviously they would continue to, I would feel like they're going to continue to be a problem. And that's why I wanted to issue this anti-harassment order, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. I understand your request.
All right. We'll
now
stop
I
right
can
there
hear
before we
from
let
the-
Tina talk. So a lot to unpack. It seems like maybe they got off on the wrong foot right away with these people when they moved in, encroaching on their RV space.
Which I'm sure is they're not very big, I would imagine.
I'm guessing everyone there is afraid of Tina and Tina's crew because they wanted to stay anonymous and not come forward.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I would imagine, yeah, you're right about that.
The whole park is scared. And we learned something new, Creed. Ducks wearing collars. I mean, those studded collared bastard wearing. I mean, these ducks are wild. These are wild ducks, Creed. When she says they're wild, boy, does she mean it. They are wild.
Oh, that's great.
They do work.
Crystal comes off as I don't really see her as a yeller and screamer, but
No, she seems like a very docile female lady. While Tina, well, I mean, she's a hellion herself. Look at that provocative makeup and her hair did up in such a provocative way.
Now, Judge just asked as we've learned as of late, a very important question about how Tina makes her feel.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't quite come out and
say she scares the shit out of me.
Right, which are the magic words to get a protection order we found in most cases. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see Tina's side, because Tina's a little bit embarrassed there for the when we're talking about her son Drake.
Well, Crystal brought it up. That Tina thinks this is funny.
Well, because from there on out, the only thing that Tina did other than lounge back like, yep, she wants me. Also, lots of smirks and lots of smiles throughout that entire thing. So it'll be interesting to see.
I like that their menfolk are both in the frame with them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm protecting my girl.
Like these two may go to blows tonight. Slightly.
Maybe. Allegedly. Let's hear from old Tina.
Respondent, when you're ready.
I'm so sorry, Your Honor. I'm not smiling because I think it's funny. I'm actually smiling because I've never heard a bigger liar in my entire life. Let me begin by this incident.
Oh, Tina. Tina.
Boy, that Boost Mobile sucks out there in the forest.
Tina, what's going on?
We need to start
Your
all
video really
start over again, maybe.
Oh,
welcome, Glenn.
I'm sorry, Ms. Turney. I couldn't hear anything you said. Your video
No.
and your audio broke up really badly. So let's just do like, you tell me a couple sentences and then I'll let you know if I heard you or not, so that you don't give a very long spiel and then find out that
Maybe.
we didn't hear you.
Highly.
So if you could start over and just tell me about this first incident that happened. It sounds like your son was involved in an incident with Emily and then you allegedly threw a camera. Is that what happened?
A hard camera, Your Honor. Get that right.
Hard camera.
He's coming in hot. I'm kind of mad that it was breaking up like that, because I mean,
Oh yeah, she had diatribe. She was getting out there.
She was getting
I've never heard a bigger liar in my entire life.
I love it. Well, hopefully she's got some things to back that up if she gets back some service.
yes. My boyfriend works here. He got hired here. He was down at Drake at the time. Did not see anything like that.
Is Tina in the lake?
Emily was not surprised.
She bathes with the ducks in the lake. I don't know if you knew that or not, because they don't have running water. Because I mean, they have an electrical outlet with a. Remember, she said that covered up the.
I feel like Tina's trying to get the truth out there.
You can't handle the truth.
And when Crystal came over, I was getting ready for work, another shower.
Shower.
And
Miss Turney, I'm sorry, I can't. Miss Turney, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you. Miss Turney, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you. I can't hear you. Your transmission is very garbled. Could you just stand by for 1 minute, please?
Yeah.
How old are you,
Should I go
Dutch?
into the other- I can go into the other-
Transmission.
Transmission.
Oh, what?
Can't hear me.
Can you, Tina? Can you go over to Crystal's
Wait,
house
maybe I could-
real quick, right across
Yeah.
the way? He has good connection.
Grab her phone real quick.
Yeah, do you mind?
I'm sorry, we've gone over our data
All right,
limits.
let's try again. So I heard you say that, yes, there was an incident. Can you continue with that?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Barely. You're still
No.
breaking up quite a bit.
Would it be better to call?
It might work better if you want to try that. We can ask for 3
Damn
or
it,
4
Tina.
minutes and see if you can call in.
Tina.
Okay.
Let's
Now
try
it
that.
Sounds perfect.
Maybe she's talking too loud.
And what number do I call?
We'll type it in the chat for you.
Oh,
You'll have a
thank
hard
God.
copy of it.
Everybody calling.
You know.
Had to scream and yell over the top of it. While she's calling in now, do us a favor, like the video. If you're new here, say hi. Our live streams are like this.
There's nothing there yet.
Okay.
Tina, we're
Yeah, it's
Trying to-
coming. Just
We're
a
trying
minute.
to talk to folks. Like Vicky. Hey, Vicky, what's up? Don't forget, members only for We Got a Case tonight. Still time to join. Become
All
a
right.
member.
You have the number? now?
$3 a month. 3.
No. Wait, there. Hold on.
It should be in your meeting chat.
Oh, that was
Are we taking a hit?
nah. Yeah, what is she doing? That
We're
was
ripping.
Is that how we? No, it's a water bottle.
Oh,
Is it? That was. That's an odd way to drink that.
this is hysterical.
Enter participant ID followed by pound. Otherwise,
Oh my God, this is the rest
Look
of
at the
the
judge's face. Look at the judge's face. Oh my God. She could have just disconnected that other phone, while we were dialing, but whatever.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that better? Okay,
A
awesome.
couple of wrestling fans around here. For
228. Continue. Proceed with your description of
you have to put it in your mouth like this, and then just like no.
I'm not a fan.
Why is there so much garbled stuff? I'm gonna have to take the phone away from it.
They're still
There
now
we
they're
go.
going to feed back and forth.
Now it's just
Okay, I
looping.
did.
Just
Okay,
looping.
there's some garbled noise in the background.
No shit. Hang up
Yeah,
the
I'm
other
muting that
one.
too. I think it's because you've got the video connection still going at the same time. I muted you on our end, but if you want to disconnect your initial video feed,
Okay. So I can leave?
you can leave the video feed, just leave your phone audio on.
There it goes,
Oh, okay.
back and forth.
Damn it, Tina.
Now she hang up everything.
All right, that should be better now.
Okay. Yes, much better. There we go.
Okay, so you can
I guess we
proceed
can
with your
start with the
story.
beginning. Yeah, I wanted to let you know that Tim, my husband, works here. He actually works for the RV park. We started out as tenants.
She referred to Tim as the boyfriend that works there a minute ago. Just keep that in mind now their husband.
Wow, they might have got married. I mean, it did take a while to get this phone line going.
That's true. Maybe they that's entirely possible.
And then he got a job here, but he was down at the lake during the time that she said that Drake had put his hands on her neck. Tim was watching him. Crystal was not watching Emily at all. In fact, she was left down there with us and nobody watching her. And Tim did not see any of this instance.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
So go ahead.
Let me stop you there right there. I understand that there was something going on between the children. That's not really my concern because I can't put a restraining order against you for what Drake did or didn't do. But my concern is that you threw a camera at her.
Hard camera.
That's not correct. That is not correct. And Tim was here witnessing. The injury that she's talking about on her hand this is why the cops did not arrest me, because if I had done something to hurt her, that would have happened because they came. But she pounded on my door so dang hard when I shut it in her face that she nearly busted out my window. Ooh. Now, I opened up the door and I was going to throw something, but I didn't. I tossed in the dirt. She was long out my gate because I was thinking maybe I had to defend myself. She came in swearing at my child. I wasn't dressed. And when I shut the door in her face to get her to leave, she nearly broke my window out and then told the police that I injured her hand. No, she injured her hand beating the crap out of my door. And Tim was here. He witnessed the whole thing. But the other thing is, why did she wait 3 or 4 months to bring it up now? Because the whole thing with her daughter was nothing like she's saying. I just told her to please not harass the ducks. Someone stole my duck on the 4th of July. And I just would prefer for her to she's not nice to him. Okay. So I just wanted her to stay away from him. But I was at the top of the hill. She was down at the boat ramp, way down at the bottom.
She's not nice to the ducks. Where she go down there and ridicule them and call them names and stuff.
Rough talk them every once in a while. You got to get down there. Look, I will say this. She did bring up a good point that the lady wasn't watching her kid and her kid was down by the lake. I mean, this day and age, I wouldn't let my kids get out of eye shot, let alone
we don't know how
down by the lake.
Is, but I'm guessing too young to be roaming around by a lake in a forest.
Yeah, I'm gonna say younger than 12. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I would think.
And those ducks, don't mess with them.
Can you see Crystal coming up, banging on the door really hard? Because I think that she could. Because I mean, she seems like she's pretty low key, but I think she's pretty mad if her kids
saying somebody put hands on them.
Yeah,
that's a pretty big deal. But Tim does work there.
And don't forget, Crystal has seen Tina nude.
He said.
Is exactly what Crystal said when she opened up the door.
This was all blown out of proportion, but the main objective here is that they have called the police on this 4 times without relevance, sir, and nobody has ever supervised this little girl when she's out by the lake. So we put in a complaint on the 27th. She went and filed this restraining order on the 28th. Ooh. We put in a complaint with our RV park that her daughter was unsupervised. So she retaliated by getting us.
Okay, well, that's an interesting little piece of news there about this case.
How the turntables have turned, Creed. We're now seeing that maybe this is a retaliation. She did wait quite a while. Tina, no matter how beautiful she is, she still has a brain on her, and she's making some good points. I'm saying good points, but just letting the kids roam alone.
It's an issue.
Free range children.
Just like the dog.
Is it fair of Miss Piper to say, though, that you yelled at her daughter?
No. I mean, if all I said is, oh, I'll tell you exactly what I said. All I said was, whoa, you can't harass the ducks like that. You were already told by Tim yesterday that you can't do that. You can't be running them back in the water. I've got a plate full of food for them, and I'm going to feed them. And she just said, I'm going to tell my mom. So I said, okay, well, you could do that. But that's all that happened.
Stop the clock.
There was no swearing. I never came nowhere near her. There is no other people in the park that have complained on us. Nobody. And since Emily's been supervised, we've had no other issues.
Okay. Well, a few things for you, Ms. Attorney. Number one is there's no statute, there's no law saying you can't talk to another person's children, especially if they're out unsupervised, you know, messing with your property or maybe messing with your property. You're allowed to talk to children, but it's a really sensitive issue for a parent to have someone discipline or even speak to their children. So you got to be really careful with that. It can be misinterpreted. And children can definitely misinterpret when it's coming from someone they don't know. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And then, all right, I understand then. I think I'm getting a picture of what's going on. Also, there's no law saying children can't be out playing unsupervised, right? They're allowed to go around chasing wild ducks all they want. It's childhood. So not something that you can really complain about or yell at a kid about, okay?
Okay.
Do you understand?
Do you understand?
Yeah, I totally understand.
Okay. Miss Piper, you say that she threw a camera at you. What kind of camera was this?
It was a security camera. They said that they were gonna have it installed outside, and I did not pound their windows because I cannot reach their windows. We live in an RV, and I did pound the door for her to open up because I was trying to talk to her about the incident, and she lied about the window pounding.
No, she didn't say anything about that. She said that she said
Hit
that
the door
Crystal
so hard. Yeah,
hit
it
the
almost
door
broke
so hard, the window.
And I'm sure there's a window in the door. Most RVs do.
And I let
Emma's here.
I let the officers know that threw the camera at me. At the end of getting my side of the story and her side of the story, Your Honor, they told me that if there was another future incident or issue of them of any sort, to file an anti-harassment. That was their advice, to try to keep the peace.
Yep, I understand what the officers were coming from, and I understand where you're coming from. So I'm going to enter some findings now. I've heard from both of you. I'm going to find that there's not sufficient evidence at this time to justify an anti-harassment order. It has very serious legal ramifications, and therefore it has very specific requirements. And while these neighbors are obviously not getting along and people are not conducting themselves the way they should be, that doesn't mean that there's a basis for an anti-harassment order. When it comes to the camera, I can't really say one way or another who did what, but I think by a preponderance of the evidence, I would believe Ms. Piper that there was some kind of incident with the camera. I can't find, however, that there was a course of conduct that constitutes harassment that would justify entering in an order at this time. I totally understand the feelings of having a neighbor talk to your children when they're out playing, and that makes you uncomfortable, and the children may be interpreting it one way when the adult trying to correct their behavior means it a totally different way. My advice here is for you two to just leave each other alone as much as possible. Tell your daughter to avoid her, whenever she's out playing. If she gets approached by her, to just leave and come home, that kind of thing.
That's all I want, Your Honor.
If there's future incidents and future behavior, Ms. Piper, you can file a new request for a new order, but I'm not, you should review the statute and go familiarize yourself with what kind of behaviors are required in order to justify one. I'm just not seeing that here today. But I thank you all for your patience for hanging in there through a very long calendar. I'll enter an order denying the request at this time, and you're all free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. The ducks say thank you.
I wish we could have heard from Drake. Oh, hold on. We got Drake. Go ahead. All right. Thanks, Drake. Good to see you, bud.
I like Loud. I think call it Judge Quick Draw whatever.
You're killing it.
He's fast, and I like that. That's the third one now in a row, and
he doesn't mess around. Yeah, he definitely got this one right. I mean, yeah, there probably was some flirting between Drake and Emily. Got out of hand, perhaps. Who knows? And I can see Tina yelling at somebody like, "Hey,
oh yeah,
leave them damn ducks alone."
Well, I mean, She said that Tim, the boyfriend husband, who also works at the RV park, are we going to call it? Works in the forest. Had said something the day before, and then she got on. Well, anyways, that's
free range children thing. Just another day in the trailer park. I mean, it happens from time to time. They butt heads. Who knows? Next week they could be singing "Kumbaya," sitting by the fire. Just a matter of time for them ducks. Them mother effing. Put your duck ass in my face.
Oh, does it smell?
Duck,
Pretty big splats,
Oh, man. Exciting day. Don't forget, we got a case members only at 5:30 today. That's right, 5:30. So you must be there. Still time to join. We don't have to be live for you to join and become a member. You just do that on your own time.
That Forest Life Express, a long one today, Mikey.
It can barely go. It's so full of
Gary and Miss Carrie. Thank you both. I appreciate you. That was a good case though. I yesterday having to watch the forestry people wondering what was going on. So
and the duck being there yesterday. I mean, how fitting?
What's the chance?
How fitting is that? That's just incredible. Continuity. We're working on it. So keep an eye out for videos, new videos coming out all day today. So look for those over on We Got a Case and Credence. That's him. Oh, sorry, him. And Mikey. That's him.
That's him. Oh, yeah.
The Greek god himself. Anything else, Credence?
No, that's it. We'll see you at 4 for Wild Worm Wednesday.
Yeah, we're going to get kicked out of hotels. We're going to get crazy. We're going to crash our car. And maybe run somebody over that we're not supposed to.
All right. With
all that and more.
Zero possibilities of a melon alert, just so you know.
Zero.
If you're listening, YouTube, nobody gets hurt in any of these videos.
No one has ever been hurt in any of these videos. Please do us a favor, though. Like the video if you haven't done so already. Subscribe if you would like to. Please. Yeah. Take a whole day and just watch our old videos. When you go to bed at night, just let them run. Just let them run all night. How many TVs you got in your house?
Hook them all up. All of
just
your
hook them all up and let them go while you sleep.
We're gonna drive like Paul Walker. Yes,
that's right. You guys stay safe. You guys stay hard. You guys stay tuned, because without you, it's just a Greek god and a fat guy.
Denied.